Hello there, very good evening. Welcome to another edition of Primetime News on TV1. Let's start off with a look at your top stories for tonight.
President warns of consequences of deviating from agreements with foreign parties, including the IMF. Sajid proposes program to empower farmers.
ගුණාත්මක භාවයෙන් ඉහළ පොහොර කිලෝ 50 මිටිය අපි රුපියල් 5000කට ගොවි ජනතාවට ලබා දෙන්නට අනිවාර්යෙන්ම කටයුතු කරනවා. වගා ණය සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම කපා හරිනවා කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
Everyone is equal before the law. Anura speaks on plans to develop the country. Child drowns in Deduroya. Operations underway to rescue mother and another child. 2 PHIs drown in Ittepane. Indian Navy's frontline warship to visit Colombo. State of emergency announced in Israel. Several airlines suspend flights.
In your top story tonight, President Ranil Wickremesinghe today warned of the consequences that could befall the country if it deviates from the agreements entered into with international bodies, including the IMF. He expressed these views at a special conference organized by the United National Party at the Sirikota UNP headquarters.
Sri Lanka decides! Sri Lanka decides.
A special conference was held at the Sirikota UNP headquarters in Pitakote, and it was chaired by the party leader, President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The conference was attended by senior leaders, organizers and members of the party. At the conference, a proposal was put forward by General Secretary of UNP, Palita Rangibandara.
All of us as members of the United National Party pledge our support to independent candidate Ranil Wickremesinghe, who saved our nation and who is the leader of the United National Party at the presidential election on the 21st of September.
The proposal was seconded by Sagala Ratnayaka. The event was also attended by Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and several others who have pledged their support to President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
All of us are Sri Lankans. If we lose Sri Lanka, we will lose the United National Party. That is what Dudley Senanayake, J.R. Jayawardena and Premadasa have taught us. The people of this country have a right to live. We have to protect that right. We are UNPs. We first think about the country. We believe that these issues can be resolved. We have to get 5 trillion rupees. That is 5,000 billion rupees. That's our target. We cannot reduce that. If we reach the target, the rupee will grow stronger and the prices of goods will reduce. That is what we can do. The government is working to implement this. What is our opposition saying? They are saying in their political statements that they will reduce the price of goods and reduce taxes. I would like to ask them something. When you reduce taxes, the income reduces. When the income reduces, we cannot collect this 5 trillion rupees. Then we will go back to the situation in July 2020 and 2021. We know that there is one way through which we can reduce taxes. Let's strengthen the rupee and reduce taxes. This happened in Greece. Their economy collapsed. The IMF, the European Union and the European Central Bank got together and imposed conditions on them. It was hard for them. Would you prefer for the same thing to happen in Sri Lanka? These people have to tell us what they are going to do. If they are going to reduce the income, how are they going to solve these issues? That's all we have to ask. Let the three parties get together and have a video conference with the IMF. Ask them what they would do. Let's telecast that discussion to the country.
එක පැත්තකින් ජීවන වියදම අඩු කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට අවශ්‍ය
On one hand, the cost of living has to be reduced. We are taking steps to do that every day. We did that during the past 2 years. Inflation that was 76% has reduced to 3%. Also, we will increase your income. We are bringing laws that the Economic Transformation Act and preparing for this journey to develop our economy fast. We are preparing to get a mandate from the people and strengthen the president.
දැන් අපි සූදානම් වෙන්නේ තවත් වරමක් ලබලා ජනාධිපතිතුමා තවත් ශක්තිමත් කළා.
දැන් මේ නායකතුමා ඔබට
In this country that is bankrupt, the leader deposited 15,000 rupees in your bank account not because you asked for it. It was not an election promise that he made. Under the Urume program, 2 million people were given benefits. You did not ask for it. 10 kilos of rice were distributed among 3 million families because if the people fall, the economic development rate cannot be maintained at 5%. He has promised state sector employees an additional 25,000 rupees. You might think that this is an election promise. It is not. This in line with the provisions of those acts that were passed.
ඔබ හිතයි මේක ඡන්ද පොරොන්දුවක් කියලා නෑ. මේක අර පනත්වල තියෙන නීතියට අනුකූලයි.
සමහරු කියනවා රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමාට තෙතමනයක් නෑ කියලා. හැබැයි රටේ ජනතාව වෙනුවෙන් පපුව උණු
Some people say that Ranil Wickremesinghe does not have a sensitive heart, but he is the only leader whose heart was on fire for the people of this country when the people were suffering. The others looked away to secure their power and their seat and for the coat that they hoped to wear. At a time like that, Ranil Wickremesinghe is the leader who accepted the challenge.
ඒ අවදානම බාරගත්තු නායකයා රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමා. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂ
The United National Party is not a party based on a family. Our entire party is one family. We might have been wrong, we may be frustrated, and we might have gone astray. Our party may have been wrong, but today the time has come to work together.
එකට වැඩ කරන්න තියෙන වෙලාවද ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. එදා ජනාධිපතිවරණයේදී
Except for a few in the group who got 6.9 million votes against us at the previous presidential election is now supporting Ranil Wickremesinghe. Today, devoid of party differences, it has been accepted that Ranil is the one who can do this. Ranil is the one who can save the economy of the country. If you ask anyone today and they answer true to their heart, they will tell you that there is no person better to save the economy.
කියන එක අද පක්ෂ ભેදකින් තොරව හැමෝගෙම හෘද සාක්ෂියට ඇහුවොත් අද ඒගොල්ලෝ කියයි වෙන කවුරුත් මේක ගොඩ දාන්න කෙනෙක් නැහැ කියලා.
Leader of the National People's Power, Andhra Kumara Dissanayake, emphasized his commitment to systematically rebuilding the country by upholding the rule of law. He shared these views during the NPP's Women's Conference held in Colombo today.
The Women's Conference of the National People's Power was held at the PD Sirasa grounds in Colombo. Representatives of the National People's Power and professionals were among those who attended the event today. You are women in your villages. You're just one person at the company that you work at. But it was the women of our country who brought the hope for a change when our country was destroyed. That is why you are women who have set a great example in this country. You are valuable to us because of that. If our women are being sent overseas as domestic workers, they must not be sent based on the whims and fancies of anyone. They must be given a good training, a good salary, and an environment needs to be created where she can live a happy life. When our women are sent overseas, it must be done through proper channels and through our embassies. Reports have shown that when our women travel overseas, that breaks the family unit, as there is no one to take care of the children. Therefore, the National People's Power will take on the responsibility of protecting the women who went overseas to bring down foreign remittances and their families as well. We are forming a government that is centered around the people, connected to the people, and a government that is for the people. A developed country is not a country where only the rulers develop. Recently in Thailand, the Supreme Court in the country asked the Prime Minister of the country to step down as he had violated the constitution. Despite our Supreme Court delivering judgment after judgment, highlighting how they have violated the constitution, what is our leader saying? He is saying that it's all right and and that he does not regret it. This is a president who does not even respect the judgments of the Supreme Court. Can he build a country? We need to change this egoistic political system.
From the very beginning, we will cleanse this step by step. Where will we start? Firstly, a government of the NPP will create a country that respects the rule of law. If one can carry out these Sunday attacks and then sit on the seat of the president, why should anyone be afraid of the law? If one can commit financial fraud and still sit in parliament, why would you be afraid of the law? If one can take ransom and hold ministerial positions, why should he fear the law? A government of the NPP will breathe life to the principle that everyone is equal before the law. If the law is not empowered, the inflow of drugs cannot be stopped. Without breathing life to the law, you cannot stop crime or curb the underworld. The main priority of our government would be education. We will do away with the disparities in school education. We will stop this culture where children who are asleep get their faces washed, dressed and then packed into a van. Children are being loaded into vans. The child is asleep when he gets into the van from his home and when he gets off the van at home. What kind of a life is this? We will create a school where all children could study. The longest distance a child will have to go is 3 kilometers. This is how it's done in countries across the world. We are poor as a country, our government is poor and our people are poor. The fate of your poverty is shown in your kitchen. Therefore, we have planned every step that will make our country rich. If our country is rich, our government will be rich. Then the services will come for the government. A country becoming rich means its citizens becoming rich. We cannot ask our mothers not to cook until these benefits flow down to the people. We can't ask mothers not to teach their children. We cannot ask people not to purchase medicine for their elders. Then what can we do? If there is a family that cannot purchase food, medicine or provide proper education to their children, a government of the NPP will provide an allowance of minimum 10,000 rupees. If the family is finding it extremely difficult, that will be increased to 15,000 rupees. The VAT that has been imposed on food, education and health, the price of power can be reduced by 1/3 within a short span of time. The price of fuel can be reduced. We know that there is a massive hurdle faced by entrepreneurs. They don't have money to start the business. What will we do? We will examine what she is planning on doing. We will ask her to prepare a project report and a group of professionals will review the report. Based on that report, the government will give a guarantee to banks and the loan will be disbursed for that project.
Meanwhile, the National Conference of Banking and Finance Professionals of the National People's Power was held in Colombo this morning. A list of proposals were presented to the leader of the National People's Power, Anurukumara Dissanayake, by the banking and finance professionals.
Sena from Bank of Ceylon, Chaturani Chandani Kumari from Regional Development Bank, and from Trincomalee District, Anirudh Nelson, and from Vaunia District, Samira Bandara.
It has been forecast that by the year 2050, 65 to 85% of the world's requirement of power will be supplied by renewable energy. We are ready to bring investment for this, but not people like Adani. Adani can also invest within the usual tender procedure. You know that during the 44 years from 1978 to 2022, there has only been $22 billion in foreign direct investment into Sri Lanka. Foreign direct investment in Vietnam for the last year alone was $23 billion. We have only got $22 billion for 44 years. What does that mean? Foreign direct investment does not come into Sri Lanka. Why is that? It is because of corruption, inefficiencies, the lack of proper protections, instability. Because all of these issues, we do not get investments. We would like to inform our local and foreign investors in public and private that we do not want even a cup of water from you. Our scale will be if the project is good for the country or not. We will take care of your tax money like we take care of community property. We will not allow for a single cent to be wasted.
Opposition leader and presidential candidate of the Samagi Janabalavegiya, Sajith Premadasa, says that under an SJB government, a 50-kilogram sack of fertilizer will be sold at a price of 5,000 rupees. The opposition leader expressed these views at a rally held in Polonnaruwa.
The rally, organised under the theme Dinana Sajith, was held at the Dudley Senanayaka grounds in Hingurakoda.
සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාව රජ කරවන යුගයකට ඔබගේ ආශිර්වාදය ලබා දෙන එක නොඅනුමානයි කියලා මම විශ්වාස කරනවා.
I believe that you will give us your blessings to create an era where the people reign supreme. I would like to present the program that we plan on implementing for the people of Hinguragoda in this historic city of Polonnaruwa. We would like to inform our farming community that a 50-kilogram sack of nutritious fertilizer will be provided to you at a price of 5,000 rupees. We will also introduce a price scheme for agrochemicals and save you from vendors who sell to you at exorbitant rates. I would like to inform you that we will use regional agrarian centers to ensure that these agrochemicals are not sold at exorbitant rates and that these matters will be done transparently. Also, we will be providing a fuel subsidy to farmers, fishing community, three-wheel drivers, school transport services and Shakti rice mill owners using QR codes. I also announced that we will completely write off all debt of farmers. We will pay a proper price for your produce. Especially, I would like to inform the residents of Polonnaruwa district that we will elevate the tourism industry to the highest level. We will develop the cultural tourism sector. We will strengthen all stakeholders in the tourism sector and make this a paradise for tourism. We will develop this based on wildlife and cultural tourism.
සංචාරක ශේත්‍රයේ දියුණු වන සංචාරක පරාදීසියක් බවට පත් කරන්නට සංස්කෘතික සංචාරක කර්මාන්තය වනජීවී කේන්ද්‍රීය සංචාරක කර්මාන්තය ගොඩනගන්නට අපි කටයුතු කරනවා.
ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම මිත්‍රවරුනි ආණ්ඩුවට
Honestly, my friends, the government has completely forgotten the farming community. In the past, if the price of paddy drops by even a slight amount during harvesting season, didn't our brothers from the JVP come and protest here? Don't they protest? Where are they now? The price of paddy have dropped, but did a single red brother get onto the streets to protest? Did they? Why don't they protest? Think about why they don't protest. Some people say that it's a few rice mill owners who are funding their entire operation. They do not care about the price of paddy. Parliamentarian Rohini said that they are having deals with them. But I assure you that under our government, we will give a proper price for paddy. And we will create an economy where the farming community can breathe. We did all of this after looking into the matters regarding farmers extensively. We did not say that we will issue different gazettes at different times. We did not say that certain gazettes will be revoked and replaced with more gazettes. You must give the people who do not have. There is no point in giving a person who has enough.
අපි නොයෙකුත් වෙලාවට කිව්වේ නෑ ඒ ගැසට් එක අයින් කරගෙන තව ගැසට් එකක් ගහනවා කියලා. නැති මිනිහටයි දෙන්න ඕනේ. තියෙන මිනිහට දෙන්න ඕනේ නෑ.
පුළුවන් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට පුළුවන් හැබැයි රනිල්ට බෑ කියලා මම තමුන්නාසට කියන්න කැමතියි.
I would like to tell you that Sri Lanka can, but Ranil can't. When Ranil Wickremesinghe took over the party, the United National Party had a voter base of 44%. There were 94 parliamentarians in 1994. He lost 30 elections after that. After his defeat in 2005, he did not contest a presidential election. This time he has got together with a band of thieves and is trying to come into power from that side. Remember that a majority of the votes in the country are from rural villages, and no matter what he does, the people in the villages will not vote for Ranil.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහට ඡන්ද දෙන්නේ නෑ කියන එක මම බොහොම ආදරෙන් කියන්න කැමතියි.
එදා ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මේ රටේ පොහොර ටික නවත්තන්න හදනකොට එදා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ කිව්වා
When Gotabaya Rajapaksa was suspending the supply of fertilizer to the country, they said in parliament that farmers will be compensated for the damage caused to their crops. Did they provide compensation? Where is the thief whose mannequin was burnt at every junction for destroying the farmers' modes of income? He has fallen onto the lap of Ranil Wickremesinghe. The people of this country have accepted that the only leader who can revive this country, that has collapsed is Sajid Premadasa. The clean leaders from all political parties in the Polonnaruwa district are on this stage. I will be joining the people of Polonnaruwa when Sajid Premadasa wins the presidential election with the support of a majority of people from Polonnaruwa.
පොළොන්නරු දිස්ත්‍රික්කයත් වැඩි ඡන්දයෙන් සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස දිනවන සටනේ මම එකතු වෙනවා කියලා මේ ජනතාවත් එක්ක මිත්‍රවරුනි.
Presidential candidate of the People's Struggle Movement, attorney Nuwan Bopage, expressed his views today in Badulla regarding the National People Power's manifesto that is due to be unveiled tomorrow.
A public rally organised by the People's Struggle Movement was held at the Senanayaka grounds in Badulla.
No one has been able to present at least a manifesto that shows their vision to the people. What we have to say to the gentlemen who will be unveiling their manifesto tomorrow, we know what it is. That manifesto will be in favour of Ranil Wickremesinghe's IMF policy. It will be in favour of Indian intervention, neoliberal economics and religious and racial divisions. That is what will be in it tomorrow. We challenge them. If they can mention one word about socialism in the program that will be unveiled tomorrow, present one initiative that will genuinely change the system, propose one program that stands against the IMF and against India. They say let's make Ranil win, let's make Sajid win and let's stop theft and corruption. Vijay Das is there, Sarath Fonseca, Roshan Ranasinghe. Many are playing different roles in this presidential drama. They visit temples and covils dressed in white, claiming they will put an end to corruption. Some even portray themselves as Superman, making various promises. But the reality is, when this presidential drama ends on the 21st of September and the script ends, it's the people who will be left defeated.
Sri Lanka decides.
Presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, Namal Rajapaksa, says the culture of switching political parties should be ended. Namal Rajapaksa expressed these views after a party meeting in Mulkirigala, Hambantota. We were observing politicians switch parties in the past, and I am happy that the courts have given some good decisions in the past. I hope this culture of switching political parties will come to an end in the future. No matter how often leadership changes at the top, the people of the country remain the same. The switch occurs only among those in power because they are the ones who get privileges. I believe this culture needs to change in our country. As a young leader representing the new political generation, our party is taking proactive steps to implement the necessary legal measures to address this issue. Presidential candidate of the United Lanka Podujana Party, Janaka Ratnayaka, engaged in a public awareness program today at the public market in Homagama and Delkanda.
Under a government led by me, the prices of vegetables, fruits and 20 other essential food items will be stabilized for 5 years, ensuring that people can afford 3 meals a day. This is achievable. We produce a great harvest, but prices have risen due to issues in transportation and storage. I will introduce a program to provide reliefs to the farmers and consumers under my government.
Strengthening the people. Fighting for the truth, leading a nation, forging the future. Newsfirst, with the people.
For a rich country, Rata Anurata, Jatika Jana Balavegaya. Dalu Pintaru Vedamulu Maha Pradarshaniya. NVQ සහතිකලාභී වෘත්තීය පින්තාරු ශිල්පියෙක් ශිල්පිනියක් වීමට ඔබත් අදම එක්වන්න. විස්තර හා ව්‍යාපදිංචි වීමට අමතන්න 0777 6040. චැට් පින්තාරු අභිමාන දේශීය දෙව් පින්තාරුකරණයේ උන්නතිය උදෙසා. For a rich country, රට අනුරට ජාතික ජන බලවේගය.
A new star was born yesterday on the stage of the internationally acclaimed Shakti Crown. The highly anticipated grand finale of Shakti Crown concluded yesterday. The 6 finalists gave it their all on the stage, and the next big singing sensation was crowned at Stein Studios in Ratmalana yesterday.
Shakti Crown Grand Finale.
Shakti Crown, the reality show that captivated Tamil audiences both locally and overseas, made its debut on Shakti TV. This new experience for music lovers followed the success of Isai Ilavarasarkal, Shakti Superstar and Shakti Junior Superstar. From across the island, 6 talented contestants were selected for the final round of Shakti Crown. Sitsabation from Kalladi, Batiklo, GK from Putlam, Myron from Marthale, Akash Madan from Point Pedro, and Pranavi and Achaya from Kandy made it to the finals. The coaches also entertained the audience with their stellar performances. The winner was announced based on the performance of the 6 finalists yesterday.
It's Kaushikaran.
4th runner-up ஆயிருக்கக்கூடியவர் it's Akash Madan.
The 2nd runner-up is Sitsabation.
After navigating a series of challenges, Pranavi from Kandy clinched the title at the finals of the Shakti Crown.
Achiyala from Navia. The winner is Pranavi.
Achaya from Kandy secured 2nd place. Pranavi and Achaya, sisters from the same family, competed for the Shakti Crown on the same stage. The Shakti Crown trophy and cash prize were presented to Pranavi by Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Group, Shivan Daniel, and Yasarat Kamalsiri, Chief Operating Officer of Sirasa TV. The winner of Shakti Crown visited the Newsfirst News Center today.
First of all, I would like to thank Shakti TV for giving me this great opportunity, and I would like to thank each and everyone who voted and supported me throughout this journey, and my Amma, my coach Roy, friends, families, everyone. Love you all. Thank you.
For a rich country, Rata Anurata, Jatika Jana Balavega, Ratata Batasapena, Rajurata Tamutekame, Kuda Bellan Kadavila Grami Janatava, Pirisidu Pani Chali Numitive, Buhusi Dukpindi Kalia Nima Karmin, Gammendin, Pani Chala Perniak, Labadun Vagai. Rata Nagana Jana Paura.
The grand finale of Shakti Crown.
This is Shakti Crown, where true musical legends are born.
Who is the winner? The winner is Pranavi!
Shakti Crown Grand Finale.
Welcome back to the news. Indian Navy's frontline warship INS Mumbai will arrive in Colombo on the 26th of August for a 3-day visit.
INS Mumbai, a Delhi-class destroyer, was built in India and commissioned in 2001. It recently completed a midlife upgrade and joined the Eastern Naval Command in Visakhapatnam. This is INS Mumbai's first visit to Sri Lanka and the 8th port call by Indian ships this year. INS Mumbai will bring essential spares for the Dornier maritime patrol aircraft operated by Sri Lanka Air Force. The Indian High Commission said the Dornier aircraft has greatly enhanced Sri Lanka's surveillance and search and rescue capabilities. Indian Navy is supporting the maintenance of this aircraft with a technical team and spares. During its stay, INS Mumbai will conduct familiarization tours for Sri Lankan Navy personnel and engage in joint activities such as sports fixtures, yoga and beach cleaning. The ship will also replenish fuel and provisions, and the crew will have time to explore Colombo and De Gaulle. INS Mumbai will depart the island on the 29th of August.
The people took to the streets of Thimbirigasyaya again today, demanding equal justice, good governance and an end to corruption in Sri Lanka.
With less than a month away from the presidential election, people of Colombo continue to take to the streets, demanding good governance and system change. Marking 304 days, this silent protest calls for accountability, transparency, and a future free of corruption.
We are a month away from one of the most important elections of our times. You need to use your vote wisely. You need to think before you vote. Do not vote for people who bankrupted this country nor their protectors. The current executive doesn't respect the judiciary. The judiciary that gave him back his seat during the constitutional crisis. I was on the road for Mr. Wickramasinghe at the time. And I am on the road now because I want democracy to be brought back to this country. I want good governance.
The elections are just around the corner and we have 39 people vying to be our president. As far as I can see, we have to vote very wisely, as my board says, because the last thing we want is the same old people coming back, the ones who ruined our country. We don't want them back in power. Do not stay at home. Please cast your vote.
What we are asking the people to do is, this is an opportunity. Since the Aragalaya, since the time where the people of these people asked for a change, they have a chance now to bring about a real system change in the country, where there is accountability, there is equal application of the law, and there is no nepotism, no corruption.
Israel has announced a 48-hour nationwide state of emergency after the Israeli military launched what it called preemptive strikes in Lebanon.
Israel said 100 of its jets bombed thousands of Hezbollah launch sites in southern Lebanon half an hour before the planned Hezbollah launch to protect Israelis from the planned attack. Israel said it had launched airstrikes on southern Lebanon in a preemptive attack when it detected Hezbollah's preparation to attack northern Israel. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant announced a 48-hour nationwide state of emergency today after the Israeli military launched the strikes in Lebanon. Defense Minister Gallant said in a statement, and I quote, "The declaration on the state of emergency enables the IDF or the Israeli military to issue instructions to the citizens of Israel, including limiting gatherings and closing sites where it may be relevant. Foreign media reported that the Israeli Airport Authority said that all flights that had been delayed in the early hours of today were now able to leave, but that it was up to each airline to schedule and decide if they are flying today or not. Soon after, Hezbollah said it has successfully completed the first phase of a retaliatory attack on Israel in response to the killing of Commander Fuad Shukr at the end of July. The Lebanese group said it fired more than 320 Katyusha rockets at 11 Israeli military bases and barracks, including the Meron base and 4 sites in the occupied Golan Heights. The two sides have been exchanging tit-for-tat attacks for months, with today's attacks marked escalation. The Israeli military said there were approximately 200 launches from Lebanon towards Israel, with no reports of injuries. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu convened a security cabinet meeting soon to discuss the situation in northern Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel was determined to do everything to protect the country in a meeting with his security cabinet, where the Prime Minister vowed to uphold a simple rule, quote-unquote, "Whoever hurts us, we hurt him." The White House has also said that US President Joe Biden is closely monitoring events in Israel and Lebanon.
Have Sri Lankans in the Middle East been affected?
Sri Lankan ambassador to Israel, Nimal Bandara, has confirmed that Sri Lankans in Israel are safe. He told Newsfirst that Sri Lankans in the area should limit their activities outdoors. He assured that their situation will be closely monitored. He also urged passengers travelling to and from Tel Aviv's airport to seek the most current information regarding flight operations.
Niroshan Durey-Raja emerged victorious at the 2024 Race Across Sri Lanka cycling event.
The first phase of Race Across Sri Lanka, organised by Spinner Cycling Event Company, took place yesterday from Colombo to Alla. The second phase of the event continued today from Alla to Arugambe. This year's Race Across Sri Lanka cycling event covered a total distance of 333 kilometres and featured 50 cyclists from 5 different countries. Among them, Niroshan Durey-Raja clinched first place, completing the race in 11 hours, 47 minutes and 5 seconds. Anisha Iddavala secured the second place, while Mithun Lenage clinched third.
We are at the finish line of Race Across Sri Lanka second edition. This is the beautiful Arugambe Sea you see behind me, and it's amazing to bring this race all the way from Colombo. 5 countries are represented from India. We have an American lady who's 75 years. We have a South African. We have a German. So this event is taking Sri Lanka to the world, showing the beauty of this country from one corner to the other.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News on TV1 for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until we meet again, take care and God bless.